Brick has been a key material that has been used in the 20th century architecture. It's warm, it's an earthy material, and it's versatile, and that's the reason why I like to use that brick so much. I have used brickworksbp veneer, Sawn face, Pewter. The reason I chose that is because of the particular dimension that they offer. It's long, it's skinny, it accentuates the form of the house, which was what I was looking for. At the time, they had 3 really young children, and we know that by the time we finished this house, they moved in, they will already be teenager. We then started talking about how the site has a really steep natural slope and how the new build would be able to adapt into the landscape. We had to find a way to translate that into architecture. And that's when the idea of 2 pavilions comes in. The idea about borrowed landscape is something that struck me immediately. So when we plan the house, a lot is about the vista to the borrowed landscape, and also how the landscape that we put in can become part of the house. And the idea about this inside and outside become apparent to us from the very beginning. And the idea of this tree house for the children become quite compelling because it's quite a playful notion to how the man-made architecture responds to the natural landscape. We have all these beautiful tree and treetops, and we thought a tree house can be quite appropriate. And in a way, it's an archetypal shape of what the children would draw. Is a typical tree house, but in a really abstract form. And in response to that, we thought maybe the color can be contrasting as well. So that's where the black and the white comes in, and we thought the black can be quite a seductive, kind of box for the adult, whereas the white bit is the playful, abstract version of the tree house for the kids. Throughout the 20th century architecture, all this great master has already been using brick in a contemporary way, using a traditional material. When it comes to bricks, the first word that I can think of is authenticity. It's a timeless material. When it's used right, it gives the sense of warmth because it's made by earth. For me, what is the most important thing is how the light and shadow plays on the facade. And I love the moment when the client goes out to that space where the screen is and holding out the hand and experience the shadow casting on your hand. And that's the moment that I love my client to be able to experience. It's the human interaction. Not only the contemporary version of the material, but it's also about the traditional notion about how the brick is made, and you can feel it. Brickworks as a company, they produce brick in the most traditional sense, and I think it brings out that quality about craftsmanship and that handmade quality. It has a special architectural quality about it, and I think it's quite repeatable. It doesn't have to be expensive, but it's something that has a real design intent in the house. The other thing that I have tried really hard to do in this job is how do I cross or blur the boundary between indoor and outdoor in terms of materiality and also the flow and circulation of the house. And that's where I try to do all of this, where the materials like the crazy pave that comes from the outdoor to the indoor, to where the skylights along the spine of the house, where sunlight crosses the spine and pass light and shadow throughout the day in different directions, so that you can actually feel while you're living here, are the 2 things that I try to do the most and cherish the most.